Hey everyone, welcome back to the NBF Chemistry series. In part 4, we explored the principles of physical chemistry, understood its significance, and studied its daily life applications. Today, we are shifting gears to focus on analytical chemistry, so let's get started. Similarly, like physical chemistry, this branch is also very self explanatory from its name because this field analyzes stuff around us. It basically acts like a detective in chemistry as it tries to figure out what are the components of a compound and then quantify each element in it. To understand this, I have an example, a very simple example for you to understand how basically analytical chemistry works. Now, there are different types of candies present here, and different kinds of textures on them, different kinds of patterns on them. If we were to apply analytical chemistry on them, we would have to analyze them by different categories, such as some of the categories are written here: the shape, color, taste, or texture. Means there are different kinds of shapes like circular shapes, rectangular, cylindrical shapes, then there are different kinds of colors: yellow, green, pink, purple, and taste and textures as well. This is a very simpler explanation of how analytical chemistry works. Analytical chemistry works in the simplest way like this. Like there's a compound and there are different elements in it, and analytical chemistry basically tries to figure out the components of that compound and then quantify each compound. For example, if I were to ask you guys to qualify them according to the shape, so there are circle shapes, but how many circular shapes are there? You would count them and you would write the number in front of them. That's how basically analytical chemistry. But when we study analytical chemistry, it can become a bit complex due to the long names of various chemicals, along with different techniques and machines and tools that scientists use to study them. Overall, we can say that analytical chemistry is a very detailed and intricate field and quite important as well. Now, let's see what your book has to say about this field. Now, the definition says that it deals with methods and instruments for determining the composition and properties of matter. So, first they find out the composition, means the components of a compound, and then they analyze their properties. The essential questions of analytical chemistry is: how are analytical methods used to identify and quantify chemical substances? Now, this question pretty much sums up the entire field, covering everything you should consider or you should study in analytical chemistry. Next step, we have the daily life application of analytical chemistry. This is a very interesting example given in your book, that is the forensic chemistry. If you've ever watched a crime show like CID or Crime Patrol or any other popular ones from our local news channels such as Saryam, you have probably heard the term forensic report. Basically, it is a report that is a detailed analysis of evidence collected during a crime investigation, and which often relies on forensic chemistry. And here you can say that see that it basically involves, what does that report include? It includes the explanation of the forensic chemistry behind the evidence that was collected during the criminal investigation, and that examination might include physical traces such as body fluids, bones, like small pieces of bones, or maybe bones of a dead person if it's a case of murder, for example, fibers and drugs as well. It is basically used to identify known compound. For example, drugs are found in various colored powders, and we have to analyze them to determine their content. For example, you might see a medicine, but it might not be a medicine, it might be an illegal drug. So, forensic chemistry is important for studying that as well. So, that was all about today's lecture. So, stay tuned for the next part in which we will explore environmental chemistry.